What is going on, Pats Nation? You guys already know who it is. Patriots Global here, back with another video, and it is 11 in the morning. Not even the first day of official free agency, but the first day of the legal tampering period. And this early, moves are flying off the board for New England. In an absolute surprising news, with breaking news, the New England Patriots have traded tight end Jonnu Smith to the Atlanta Falcons. Yeah, guys, you heard that right. This is a trade that is officially going down, a trade that none of us expected because of how hard it was to get Jonnu off the books for the Patriots, and just in terms of which NFL teams were actually going to want Jonnu Smith with the contract that he has compared to the production that he's put up with the Patriots. Now, this trade is ultimately the Atlanta Falcons are going to get Jonnu Smith, and the New England Patriots are going to get a 2023 7th-round pick. Now, I know a lot of people are going to hear that, and I already saw some reactions saying, really, Bill Belichick, 7th-round pick, this is the best that we are going to do for Jonnu Smith. He might not have put up the numbers that we want realistically compared to the contract, but only a 7th-round pick. And what I will say to that is the fact that we got Jonnu Smith off book, we're able to trade him away and clear up the cap space, is probably as good as it's going to get. There weren't a lot of teams that, one, were going to really be able to take on Jonnu, but two, what teams really wanted to take on Jonnu. So this move for the Patriots was really, one, to clear up some cap space, but two, to free up a spot for a guy that they just have not been able to implement in their offense whatsoever since they signed him in free agency 2 years ago. Now, before I touch on kind of the journey from Jonnu Smith between signing from the Patriots, the hype around him, and then kind of just his statistics throughout his 2-year tenure for the Patriots after signing a 4-year massive contract, I do want to talk a little bit more about, kind of what this means for the Patriots. Like I said, in terms of draft capital, they weren't expecting a lot. They weren't expecting some massive deal back in return for Jonnu. Like I said, this was mainly to free up some cap space. Now, unfortunately for this season, this does not free up a whole lot of cap space. Again, that's why talking about trading Jonnu was also not just a factor of what team's going to do it, but also does the $3 to $4 million that you're going to save really worth the potential that Bill O'Brien might be able to get out of Jonnu Smith. And that's why ultimately no one had the Patriots actually trading Jonnu. So with that being said, the New England Patriots' new current cap number is about $34.5 million. Before this trade, they were at about $30 million. So because of this trade, the Patriots freed up only about $3.6 million. Like I said, not a whole lot. This is actually a much bigger move, not for this offseason, but this is a massive move for next offseason. And now, obviously, we're much more focused on what this means for the Patriots right now, and we're not, looking for the Patriots to throw away 2023 and rebuild for 2024. But New England is going to clear up $18.4, yeah, you heard that right, $18.4 million for the 2024 offseason. We don't know the current number for the Patriots next offseason, but that $18 million is going to be a massive bump, again, for a guy that, one, you really weren't utilizing and probably weren't going to utilize to that maximum $18 million for next year. Now, if you are the Atlanta Falcons, you're a Falcons fan watching this video, this move actually makes a ton of sense for the Falcons, and I think that this was probably the best place for Jonnu Smith to actually end up. Now, he had his best statistical seasons while he was with the Tennessee Titans. And the offensive coordinator for the Atlanta Falcons was actually the tight ends coach / offensive coordinator down in Tennessee when Jonnu was there. Now, in terms of what he did with Tennessee, he never even peaked 500 yards, but this man was an absolute machine, a touchdown machine in the end zone. I mean, in 2020 with the Titans, he put up a total of 8 touchdowns and 448 yards, which really led to him getting that massive contract with the Patriots. I think in terms of, what the Falcons are going to get here, this is a really good 1-2 punch in terms of tight ends that they're now going to have. with Kyle Pitts being your number one tight end and Jonnu Smith being your number two. In reality, Jonnu Smith should not be a number one tight end. The Patriots gave him a massive contract that was extremely overpaid, and we even thought so at the time. We just thought that the potential outweighed what the contract was going to be, but it ended up becoming one of the worst contracts in the entire National Football League. But for a Falcons team that obviously lost Calvin Ridley, obviously a few years ago lost Julio Jones, Kyle Pitts is one of their only real guys outside of Drake London. So they're at least adding a veteran pass catcher that can help them out, again, with some 12 personnel 1-2 punch between Kyle Pitts and Jonnu Smith. If we want to talk about what he's done for the Patriots in terms of what he's done the last 2 years, both in 2021 and 2022, his statistics really were not all that. In 2021, he appeared in 16 games for the Patriots, being targeted 45 times with 28 receptions for 294 yards, averaging 10.5 yards per reception and 1 touchdown. In 2022, we thought Jonnu was going to have a much better season after a really good training camp, and that did not happen. Jonnu actually appeared in less games this past season, only playing in 14. He was targeted less times with less receptions also. 38 targets, 27 receptions, 245 yards, averaging 9.1 yards per reception and 0 touchdowns. Jonnu actually had a worse season in 2022 for New England than he did in 2021. Jonnu has real potential. It just seems like it was never truly taken out of him. It wasn't taken out of him there in Tennessee. We thought the Patriots and Bill Belichick would be the best team to do so. They were not able to do so. They did worse than Tennessee was actually able to do. But Jonnu Smith, who was so versatile, being able to line up really everywhere on an offense, whether that's inline tight end, in the slot, wide outside. He can actually play some H-back also. He's a guy that you can use as a mismatch nightmare. He's a fast tight end. He's a guy that can block a little bit, but can also catch really well. But he's a massive yards after the catch guy. And we saw that utilized now and then with the Patriots, but never truly utilized. And that's Jonnu's bread and butter. Now, as for what this means for the New England Patriots, a couple of years ago, when they signed Jonnu and Hunter Henry in free agency, it was a massive upgrade because really since Gronk, the Patriots had not had a tight end. They definitely didn't have a tight end that could make an actual impact. So now that you got rid of one of those guys, you have Hunter Henry in contract year, you got to think that the Patriots are going to be in the market for a tight end. I think ultimately their first move should be to extend Hunter Henry, but then you're also looking at some potential free agents maybe they bring in. I wouldn't believe that they bring in like a Micah Gesicki or anyone of high name value. I think they're going to roll with, one tight end mainly like they did with Gronk back in the day here, except now with Hunter Henry. But this is a really good tight end class for the 2023 draft. From top to bottom, there's a lot of great names, and after this move, the Patriots very well could look to draft one of those guys in the earlier to mid rounds. The depth chart currently for the Patriots tight ends is Hunter Henry, Matt Sokol, and Scotty Washington. And again, with Hunter Henry in contract year, but also being an injury-prone guy, you got to add somebody to just add depth, not to mention that I would still like to think the Patriots would like to run some 12 personnel, not a lot, but still some, as Bill O'Brien is known for loving his tight ends. You got to love this trade if you're a Patriots fan. It would have been fun to see if he could have done anything with Bill O'Brien, but the fact that we clear up $18 million next year, we clear up, just under $4 million total for this offseason and pick up a 7th-round pick. You definitely can't complain about it, but this does mean that the Patriots do have one less weapon on offense for next season when they're already likely to lose Jacoby Myers and potentially Damian Harris also. So New England's definitely going to have to find a way to add some pass catchers, add some more just overall weapons to this offense, because we needed weapons before Jonnu, and now with another guy gone, Patriots got to do something. I definitely think that there's something in the books. We just got to wait and see. But what are your guys' thoughts on a massive trade for the Patriots to start this offseason? Let me know in the comment section below. Remember to leave a big like on this video, and of course, subscribe to the channel for all of your New England Patriots news. But like always, I appreciate you guys for watching, and go Pats.